Well, hello and welcome to the UK Surf Show. We are your hosts. I'm Pete.
And I'm Mitch, and on today's episode, we chat about the Welsh edition. Because guess what? Where are we, Pete?
We're in Wales.
We are in Wales right now. Even though we're both in our living rooms, we're actually in Wales right now.
As we speak, we are in Wales doing Welsh stuff.
And I tell you something else. Definitely up here for me, I don't know about for you, I had to put my boots on in the water when I surfed yesterday and the day before. Summer is officially over.
Isn't it? But it is far too hot to be in these things for the minute.
Yeah,
so,
let's take them off, shall we?
Let's take them off. Yeah. So for anyone listening on the podcast, that's got no reference to you. But you'll find out a little bit more later on in this show. You know, you might have guessed if you were watching on YouTube of what's just happened, but it's pretty good news, actually.
Some big news coming, and we will get to it very soon. So, on today's show, we are going to chat about Wales and us being in it.
Yes. So, we are now officially in Wales, and we're going to be interviewing people in Wales, and that's it. Cheers. Bye.
I mean, it's literally that straightforward. You know, different guests,
we've got
different venue.
Amazing guests coming on, haven't we? Like we've got, well, we'll say a few of them. We'll leave some as surprises, but we're meeting back up with Logan from, Logan Nickel, and then we're meeting up with Chris from Logfin Co. He's going to be meeting back up with us, so they're like returning people on the show. And we've got some absolute crackers for you.
And also, what we're going to do is, as well as just having guests, as you know, it's a podcast. We're going to have some guest hosts, or we're going to have a guest host, which I'm really excited about. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's obviously someone that's been on the show before. I won't say who. Should we say who?
Well, I just said who.
You know, you said who was coming on.
Yeah.
You didn't say who was going to be a guest host. So let's just leave people pondering on that one. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got the week is planned out to the T. Kind of.
Yeah.
If you include the week not being planned out to a T as being planned out to a T, it is all organised.
It's one of those where we're just planning guests, putting them in days, and honestly, we said last time, I think, when we did the Scotland edition, it was a really good way to do it. It was a really good way to do it because we get like a week of recording like interviews and episodes. And it gives us content for the next, we're still good. We did Scotland in February, and we've still got a couple of episodes left of that to come out.
Absolutely. I think there's 2 episodes left, actually, from Scotland. And it's a smarter way to do it, for one, because obviously the geographical separation with you and I, or me and you, as I would say.
Yes.
For the non-grammar police, we're so far apart, and just to have one guest on here and there, not only would it cost a fortune, but it's just a lot more hassle. So to do, and I think we stumbled upon it on Yuki when you joined the army that week.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was a good week. Just to get a load of people on for a week and have all that content, but then it gives us time to properly plan the content out and put it in an order we think makes sense, and also to edit it, because editing's a problem, isn't it?
Yeah. You could do with an editor coming on board, actually, just someone that just loves editing and could just edit for us.
I really enjoy doing it. It's just that I don't enjoy doing it when I forgot that I've not done it. Start doing it at lunchtime on the Saturday, the day before it gets released on the Sunday.
Yeah, I think the closest you've been is to it's just finishing rendered when it needs to be uploaded within about an hour or something like that.
I think happened, and then you point out a fundamental error.
The fundamental error, which was the outro of that episode where it just stayed on you when I was talking. Remember that?
That's what the people want to see. Was that an error?
Yeah, was that an error? It's just welcome to the Mitch show.
So, we've got some big news, haven't we?
Yeah, we have got some big news. As you may see just here on the camera, if you've not got, if you're just listening through your ears and no visual, we have a new sponsor of the show.
A new major sponsor of the show. On
3? And,
On 3?
Go on then.
9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3. Dry robe. I wanted to announce it. Screw you, buddy.
Yeah, I know you did. I know you did. Well, when I edit the audio version, I'll cut that out and just say, welcome Dry Rope to sponsoring the UK Surf Show.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dry Rope. It's so nice from a personal perspective I feel like I've come full circle. I was an ambassador of Dry Rope when they were like a startup, I guess, or just a small company making change robes, and now, man, they're a global powerhouse. And actually, the thing is, we all do it. We all refer to every change robe, regardless of the brand, as a dry robe. Like, we don't call it by the brand. That's what the jacket is. So for us to go full circle and have them as part of the show, like it's it's humbling for us, for one, and two, we're just really stoked because they make amazing products.
Yeah, I think they are really good. They're like size wise. I can't remember what one I used. I borrowed one off you when we were up in Scotland because obviously flying I couldn't. Huh?
Well, no, it's fine. Yeah, no, they're good sizes.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was up in Scotland, I borrowed one off you, and I can't remember what make it was, but it was literally too short because, like I've told the story before, I bent over to get changed, and my balls were hanging out the back of it.
Yeah, forgot about that. That was when we e-foiled.
Yeah, that was when we e-foiled, and whichever one. It was just the length of it. But these things are brilliant, and the length really long. I mean, I've already got the dry robe seat cover in my van.
Dear, right, okay.
Furry one, which is nice and toasty warm, and fully waterproof and stuff like that. So really happy to have them on board, and look forwards to what we may be doing with them in the very near future.
Absolutely. And you know what, just while you're on the seat covers, I've never had any seat covers, and I never ever get into my van and as into the driver's seat in a wetsuit ever. I don't do it.
Is it because of your tartan?
Well, I mean, the fabric tartan within the leather, it's obviously not helpful to that. But it's expensive getting my seats done like that. I don't want to ruin them with salt water. But last week, when I was doing the thing that I can't speak about filming, which you're going to get to see soon, I did, because I was placed into a wetsuit, which was the worst piece of shit. I fucking hated it. It was an asshole of a wetsuit. Genuinely. It was Ulex as well, and it was a prick of a wetsuit. Genuinely, it took 2 people to get it on me and 3 to get it off. It was horrendous. And a big brand as well. So anyway, it became such a problem going from location to location filming. I just took the hit, and I was putting a little change mat on my seat, a load of towels, that sort of stuff. And that was the first time I was thinking, I wish I had some of a seat cover for that reason.
Yeah, it makes sense because, like I said to you before, I never normally do it as well. But when I've surfed down in Devon a few times, and there's a few spots next to each other, say between like Croyd and Saunton, or Woolacombe and Saunton, and if you're moving between spots within the day, you just get back. It's like, I'm not getting out of this just driving around the corner and then putting it back on.
Totally,
you just drive around the corner. So I've done it. But then you forget about that. Is you do that, and then you get changed after the surf to go home, and you sit on your seat cover, and you're like, ah, shit, I'm wet.
Well, that's another one that ties back into not peeing in my wetsuit, because if you've been pissing in your wetsuit the whole time, and then you're sitting on your seat and it's dripping into your motor, you're just never getting rid of that smell, ever.
No.
Tramp.
No. Well, it could be worse. You could just sleep somewhere and go for a piss in your van, couldn't you?
That's never happened. Well, come on, I was trying to get it out. So we're really stoked. We're really happy to have Dry Rope on board, and look forward to us releasing some more details. I know that was quite vague, but there's a lot more coming, and exciting times.
Yeah. So Wales.
Yeah.
We're staying. So, long story short, we are staying in Porthcawl.
Yep.
And when we were in Scotland, a nice guy sent us a message and said, "Hey, you've done Newquay, you've done Scotland. How about doing Wales? You can come and stay in my Airbnb." And it's a fantastic location, right at Porthcawl, like right by Rest Bay. And so we'll be staying there for a week. And we got fantastic guests. I'll give you more about his Airbnb, and we'll tell you where it is if you want to go and stay there or rent it off him. It's a fantastic location. And I think we're going to try and chat to him as well at some point, because he said he'll be around during the week. So
nice.
We'll try and chat to him as well. Meet up. We're going to do a meet up on the Sunday night when we get
we're going to do it in a minute.
Yeah.
In fact, we'll be in a minute, because this will come out at 6. So we're
We do it now in a minute.
We'll see you in a minute. And if you're and just to cover all bases, if we are not there, apologies. The surf's obviously cranking.
So I think we're going to do a meet up in Rest Bay, and there is, I think, I've sent them a message, but they haven't seen it or replied yet. So if you know them or you're around that area, tell them to give them a nudge and check their DMs on social media on Instagram. It's Rest Bay Calf, and we're going to try and head there for the Sunday evening, presuming it's open. I think it is. They normally have some like live acoustic music or something like that on a Sunday night. If the surf's good, however, we will be in the water. So bring your surfboard and get in the water.
Just for the other porpers out there like me, it's also known as Rest Bay Cafe.
Yeah.
Rest
what did I say?
Calf, you posh twat.
What's the difference? Calf Cafe. What's the difference?
You're just appealing to a different demographic, aren't you?
Am I?
Yeah.
Well, you are. I'm not. I'm appealing to the proper people, I'll have you know.
Proper people, yeah, not as porpers.
Yeah. Well,
so this is going to be an exciting week and a lot lined up. Probably some things we shouldn't talk about because there's quite a bit of planning involved and might not happen. You know what I'm talking about. But I really want it to happen because we've spoke about it loads and I'll be buzzing if it does. It's just tight on time, isn't it?
Oh yeah, no, now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that'll be amazing. Yeah. Well, if that's when this comes out, that'll be done. If that's the case, or not.
I guess we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah, it's a very cryptic episode, isn't it? Really, like it's one of those. I want to tell you everything that we're going to do and all the people we're going to talk to, but some of them we're still finalising and waiting on dates. And done it before when we said someone's coming on and then it couldn't make it, and you're just like,
Or, there's the other opportunity or possibility, that maybe one of the guests is super controversial and loads of people go, I'm not going to listen to that one. So there's a risky run. But if you're a Buy Me a Coffee subscriber and you're on our close friends list on Instagram, which you get with Buy Me a Coffee, we'll tell you who's coming on.
Yeah, and this will be the bonus week on the Close Friends where you get all the extra content all week. We've pretty much put everything on Close Friends that we're doing, where we're going, who we're seeing. And so all you got to do is be a Buy Me a Coffee member and claim that Close Friends spot. And we will add you to the list and you can see the crap that we're doing.
Yeah.
Or if you're not that interested, just move along.
Have you ever surfed Porthcawl before, Pete?
Yes.
Have you? How did you find it?
Murky.
I mean, it's no different to anyone else, is it? Unless you're outside.
It's pretty much. It's because it comes off from the Severn Estuary, I think it is. Is where that meets. It's towards the end of that.
So you get all that.
So I'm not sure if it falls into like Atlantic or Irish or Severn Estuary, wherever it is. But so it's silty, and I remember washing my wetsuit out afterwards, and like it's like silt coming out of it, not like sand coming out of it. But the waves were really good when I was there.
Oh, amazing! I can't. Yeah. I think I've surfed it once, and I'm not entirely sure.
But we're also going around to the Gower as well, and there's always good waves around there. We'll try and pop past Caswell Bay to see Surfability, pop in on them on the way up because we're going up that way anyway.
You mentioned the Growler all the time, and I've got no idea what it
Growler.
Is that a location? I don't know what it means.
The Gower, the Gower Peninsula,
That's what I said, Gower.
Yeah.
This is a peninsula, right, okay. Don't know what it meant. I just keep hearing it.
It's really good. There's some really good spots there, and I'll show you. I won't say that, but there's some good spots there.
Well, the idea being for this week, and we always want to, it's always the sort of gold standard, is that we surf with the guests and we experience what it is, they're doing. So if they're surf able, we'll go and do some surf able stuff. If they run a skate park, we'll go do some skate parking. That's the sort of thing we want to do. So this week is hopefully the week we get to do that. But knowing what Pete's like, he will hoover up all the swell and it will be flat for the week.
Well, that's my luck, isn't it? Surfing. I wondered where you were going like that. The gold standard.
See it on your face.
I I thought you were going to say the gold standard is like, like e-foil. We go out on e-foil and the whole interview, we don't ask them any questions, just sit there going, that was fucking amazing. That was great. That was amazing.
Not so much an interview, it's more a review. An
Yeah,
hour-long
or a
review.
review of, this was amazing.
Man,
Yeah.
that was so much fun. But yeah. So it's going to be a good week. And then, I've had a little bit of surf as well recently, which has been great. It's funny.
Right. Bye.
Yeah. It's funny because people keep like DMing me, or like new people I bump into that follow me and stuff at the beaches. They're like, oh my God, you've been surfing so much recently. And I found myself, I was sort of thinking, have I? And I'm like, I'm going through it in my head and I'm like, I've surfed 3 times in like 2 or 3 weeks, I think, or maybe 4 times. And I guess it's just that I was like, that's not much. I mean, it's loads for at the minute because it's been terrible. The whole year's been terrible up here. But I think what it is that I don't post all the time on Instagram. So I'll pop up on your feed maybe once a week or whatever it is, and you're seeing me surfing. You're like, "Oh, he's surfing again," So it must look like I'm surfing every day, and I'm like, "Man, it doesn't. You couldn't possibly be as shit as me if you surfed every day. It's not possible. Like statistically speaking, you can't be that bad."
Oh, fucking hell. Well, I haven't been in the water. I don't know how long since I've been in the water. I think it's the last time I surfed. I can't remember. It's too fucking long ago. And then, as I said, many a times, it's just been so crap. And then when there has been waves, I've just had work to do. But
sad reality, isn't it? Of surfing.
Hopefully, there's something potentially in the future that could change that. Yeah. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Like right now, if you're listening to this, we might even be in the water with a load of UK Surf Show fans, which would be super cool. There'll be them fans. This is how I see it in my head, because I imagine Rest Bay is quite a busy spot. Them fans will act like a block for us, and we just get to sit in the middle and take any waves. Is that how it works? Is that what you've?
Yeah,
is that what we're doing? Cool.
Yeah, what it'll be is like 3 people will turn up, and we'll just be sat there really awkwardly going, "All right."
One of them, one of them will be Paz.
Yeah,
100%. One will be Paz. 2.
Paz ain't going to drive all the way up from Cornwall.
He will.
Paz, if you're on it, get in your car now. Come up quick.
Yeah, bring Pete's board back as well that you stole /1. He paid you so much money to win that, didn't he? Could have just bought the board outright.
I told you about the time I met up with him, didn't I? And did I tell that story? I can't remember. Yeah, I can't know that I met up with him. I was in my car and I was like, I've got my wetsuit, but I haven't got a board. Can I borrow a board? And he's like, borrow your old board. Yeah. And I was like, this is going to look dodgy as fuck if anyone sees me. He's like, no one's going to recognise you in the water. It's fine. And as soon as I paddled out, someone was like, Pete, all right? I was like, shit.
Is that board?
Yeah, that was a conversation. I sat there having to explain why I was using a board that I'd given away in a competition that someone had won. But yeah, that was awkward.
That reminds me, actually. I know we've spoke about this loads recently, and it still blows my mind. Like, I went surfing to the Redemption spot twice. I think we spoke about it once, and then I went again last weekend, and we had some great waves. We did speak about it because you said Ethan was the most Scottish-looking human you've ever seen in your life.
Definitely, still maintain that. Yeah.
Well, we went again, and then I'd surfed the Old Kent Road quite a few times and some other spots which will remain unnamed with work, which was amazing. And it still blows my mind, like people coming up to me in spots that I just don't expect it, talking about the show. Like somebody not interrupted me. I was chatting to somebody. Somebody got out the water the other day, and I was chatting to a little Grom, absolute charger of a Grom, and he was just like, "Man, just to let you know, love the show, love what you boys are doing," and I'm still blown away by it because I'm like, I'm listening to myself now, and we just waffle shit. I don't know what it is people are. But I appreciate every time.
Listen to people waffle shit. It's good.
Yeah, but I appreciate every time people do. So it's really, really nice to see. But then I was going to say,
I don't think it's us though, Mitch. I think it's the interesting people we speak to. So I think it's got fuck all to do with us.
Probably.
They're like, skip these twats talking. We'll get to the interesting person talking.
Well, there was I was stood in the car park after my first surf at the Old Kent Road the other day, right? And I was chatting to these 2 dudes that do like it's camper van conversions, and admittedly the whole world's doing camper van conversions, but these are doing like modular camper van conversions, which is, I think, it's a bit niche. I've certainly never seen that before, but they're really smart. And I was chatting to them for ages, And this little kid, he must have been like, I don't know, young teenage sort of years, like 14, something like that. He'd obviously just got out of the water and he was walking up the car park with his mum, and they walked straight past me. And then he came back, and I made eye contact with the kid, like, and he went, "Oh my God, are you the Scottish surfer?" And I was like, "Ah, yeah, man, how you doing?" And he turned to his mum and went, "Oh my God, mum, that's the Scottish surfer. Whoa!" And then just walked off like super happy. And I was buzzing, right? But the two dudes I was chatting to about camper van conversions, they were looking at me, and I just went, "Oh, it happens all the time." And they were like, "What? What the fuck just happened?"
Oh,
I was
amazing.
buzzing. But you know what? Little things like that,
Yeah.
actually, that made my day. So I don't know who that kid was. I imagine he doesn't listen to the show. But if you do, man, thank you. And thank you to everyone else that does come up and say hello, because that stuff goes a long way.
Yeah, yeah, it kind of validates what we've been doing and trying to do. Like what I think the reason it worked, the switchover worked well as well when you came in, like to take over from Leighton. Obviously, Leighton couldn't carry on, but you've got a similar sort of mindset of what we had as well, which was like, we know we're not the fucking best surfers in the world. We're not trying to tell you how to surf. We're just talking about something we're passionate about,
Yeah.
and talking to other people that are really good and are better, a lot better than us, and surf gnarlier waves and better waves and stuff like that, and like getting their insights into what's going on. And I think that's why you fitted in really well, because you've got that similar thing and can easily take the piss out of yourself as well as me.
Well, that's that. To be fair, that's been my whole thing. That's why I think my own stuff's growing, is because I do take the piss and I don't take myself seriously and can talk about my flaws. And I think ability for me doesn't have a place in surfing. It's all
Yeah,
relative. Like, if you're really good, you're going to go compete, or you might not want to. That might be your thing. But the
yeah,
fact is, and I have definitely said this before, is that I don't think anyone stokes more than I do when I get a really good wave, which would be a terrible wave to anyone else. But at the same time, I would couple that with, I hope every single person that hears me say that would disagree and say, "Nah, I stoke more than you," because that tells me how much surfing matters.
yeah,
And I would
yeah,
like to think that's what I bring. And you just said something that reminded me. I wanted to chat about this. I keep seeing it's annoying me. Like, I appreciate anyone that's trying to help anyone surf better, and on any level, right? And this is something we've spoken about with previous guests, with strength and conditioning coaches, with professionals at all levels of surfing, and it's specific about pop-ups. No,
yeah,
I think when I first came on the show, it's probably one of the reasons we maybe got on, was I was just chatting about these ridiculous flaws that I have, and pop up being one of them. We spoke about, the pop up surf trainer, and the fact that I have
yeah,
tried every single version of a pop up on the planet, and none of it's helped. Anyway, I don't know. It just came up on my feed loads recently, and it's all these different types of coaches, whether they be physios, strength and conditioning coaches, whatever they are, talking about, fix your pop up. All you got to do is stand on a medicine ball upside down with a finger up you. That will fix your pop up. And I'm like, what? And I'm like looking at all these exercises, and I'm like, these people just don't get it. I'm sure for some people, maybe a lack of strength is the problem, maybe. But for the
yeah,
majority of people, I think, at least myself included, who have problems with their pop up, it's nothing to do with strength. It's all about physical restrictions. So
yeah,
telling me that I need to do this exercise, start listening to the people who are talking about the problem. It's nothing to do with strength, lack of strength. It's to do with physical restriction. So maybe be a bit more helpful and break down some individual needs, and not just tell people what their problem is and give them a false narrative and a false sense of hope. It's pissing me off, Pete.
yeah. No, I know what you mean. I mean, like, my pop up's so inconsistent that I don't think I pop up the same every time I
Hmm.
think I've ever popped up on a surfboard has been slightly different.
And that is
That's how
consistent.
inconsistent it is.
It's
Like,
consistently inconsistent.
yeah, it's consistently inconsistent. I sometimes I feel like on it, it's one of those things. Sometimes I feel like it's really dialed in, and I just like get straight to my feet. And sometimes I feel like I'm dragging a knee a bit, or I'm like,
Hmm.
not moving right. I think it's one of those things that just is such an individual thing. It's like saying, like, I don't know how you hold a pen. Not everyone holds a pen exactly the same. It's
Yeah.
just everything's different. It's how you like. whether you're regular or goofy, like all these different things, how you like where you paddle. Everyone paddles different. It's such an individual thing that I don't think there's. I think as you were saying, then I think there's things that can guide you and help you, but I don't think there's one thing where someone can go, right, this is how you do it, and that's it, and you're like, yeah, all right, I've got it. I don't think it works like that at all, and I think that's why so many people like surfing, or even if they're just surfing in the white water and just barely getting to their feet, and you see how happy they are. It's that feeling of just like who was it that we had on ages ago? I think it was John Philbin, the actor, and he was saying about Jerry Lopez, and it's that thing that nailed perfectly. And he says, surfing's one of the safest things in the world, but you always feel like you're going to die. And when you think about that, it's so true. How true. You're going down a wave, and even though you're like in that moment, your brain sort of going, "Wah!" Well, mine is anyway. So I know
absolutely.
Yeah, and you're always doing that thing.
That ties into the point. And again, I don't want to go over old stuff because we've spoke about it, but maybe for new listeners, like I've always said, I always go in the water with something to work on, whether it be my pop-up or whether it be looking at where I'm going to go before I go there and all that sort of stuff. So I've always got a bit of a game plan, although I'm obviously going to go enjoy my surfing, but I always want to try and progress something. But the second I'll be paddling, and I will say it out loud, you'll see me, it must be a bit weird in the lineup. I'll paddle into a wave and I'm going pop up, pop up, pop up, thinking about it to remind myself. The second that tail lifts, I'm like, oh my God, I'm surfing. And I get so excited, I forget. I'm like, when the owners come home and the dog's been in the house all day, like whole body's just like overly out of control. That's me. So I kind of forget, but I want to get there. And I know the issue now. I do have a physical restriction on my pop-up, which is getting smashed in a rack and having 2 permanent slip discs for 16 years. That's the issue. But I know now I can physically pop up properly. And the thing, all I have to do is not have my hands underneath my shoulders. My hands have to come to the bottom of my rib cage to allow me that extension, to have the room to get my feet through, or my foot through, sorry. And I've known this since lockdown.
That's terrifying on the face of a wave.
Well, it's a low position for my hands to go. But the problem is, and I think it's not so much physical now, it's psychological. Because at that point, about the second the tail lifts up, I get too excited. My hands go back to default muscle memory under my shoulders, and I forget to just push them down further. So I go back to this annoying sort of knee up pop up, which is really frustrating. So I need to break the physical barrier, and I just can't do it. And the thing is, I think when I break it once, it'll probably be unlocked, and I just can't. I cannot seem to get there. So any advice is welcome right now.
What they say is 27 times or something like that for something to become a habit.
Do they?
So it's something like that. I can't remember. It's something like 27. You've got to do something 27 times for it to then become habit or more natural.
Okay.
So yeah, 27 times in a row. So by the end of Wales, we'll have you doing that.
Does that mean if every time you call me and I hang up, if I do it 27 times, you'll stop calling? Or does that mean you'll keep calling?
No, because I'm fucking broken.
You are broken, aren't you?
I am fucking broken. I'm well broken. There's no fixing me at all.
Well, there is, because you're going to have a week of fixing.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have a fun week of sand, sea, and frolics. It should be a fun week. And as we say, we've got loads of people. And if you are on the Buy Me Coffee, head over there, because we'll do a quick one over there and tell you all the people that are going to be on the show.
Here's a question.
Go on then. Question.
Where do we eat in Wales?
I don't know. Is there any I don't know if there's any Welsh tradition foods, Welsh rabbit, cheese on toast. But no, I don't know if there's any Welsh traditional foods. Like when we were in Scotland, I had red cola and tablet.
You did.
And square sausage and what are those tatty scones? They were nice.
Yes. And a Scottish morning roll.
You can't find them. And a Scottish morning roll. You can't find tatty scones anywhere down here.
I'm sure they do sell them in some places down south. I think they might even call them potato farrels.
Yeah, they're not the same. I tried them.
They're not the same.
Taste the same. No. So can you bring some of them down with you, please?
I will bring some down, yeah.
That's
definitely.
a tablet.
Yeah.
Not the red cola. I wouldn't clean on that aspartame.
Oh, my Channel Islands is getting fixed.
Is it?
Since the nose got smashed clean off.
That just says a lot about your surfing. My board's never
Thank
get
you,
smashed.
Marty McQueenie.
Yeah,
it's fixing it.
So yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and we'll see you around in Wales. Go over to our Instagram, give us a follow on there, and you'll get updates of things and people and stuff we are doing, as well as the close friends stuff. We do some normal updates as well while we're on one of these trips, and yeah, look forward to it. And we will release the details of times for this meetup of what's going on once it's finalised, and that'll be on the social media as well on Sunday. We'll put that out.
Yeah. And thanks again to Dry Robe. Absolutely stoked to have you on board. Look forward to some more details and some more updates on how that's going to look for you, our beautiful listeners.
Yeah, and then don't forget, if you want 10% off at Srface wetsuits as well, another sponsor of the show, you can use the discount code UK Surf Show 23.
Oh my God.
What is it? I forgot it. I haven't said it for ages. UK Surf Show 23. That's it.
There you go.
That's the one, isn't it? It's a long time since I said it. They change. Discount codes change, and I get confused. I know this one hasn't changed for ages, so it's no excuse.
I don't think it's changed this year since
I've
22.
I've slept since then. So, yeah. UK Surf Show 23 at Srface, and that'll get you 10% off there. I've got a new wetsuit to try out when we're in Wales. It might be a bit cold, but we'll see, because it's a 3-2 remix or something like that. I can't remember what it is.
How's the water temperature around that area? Is it a bit colder than elsewhere?
No, it's not too bad. People I've been chatting to have said it's not been too bad still at the moment. I think a lot of people are still in summer suits and stuff.
Oh, actually,
they're not in boots and gloves.
No, it's only boots. It's only boots. To be fair, I'm not saying it's not officially boot time yet. I think it was just a particularly cold day.
You're just a wimp.
Nah, mate. I surfed in a shorty for the first 2 years through 2 winters when I started surfing. Not necessarily stupidity, but not knowing any better. But somebody, a guy messaged me this morning. Sorry, I forget your name. If you're a listener to the show, there's a guy that's based surfs around the Whitby area in Yorkshire, and he said, "Oh, boots already? We're still in 3 mils round here." And I was like, "Oh, mate, I'm pretty jealous of that." And he went, "You shouldn't put your boots on now anyway, because then you won't get the benefits of wearing boots in January." I was like, "Mate, I promise you that's not how it works. My feet being cold now has no bearing on how warm they'll be in January." And the thing is, I get the principle of what he was trying to say.
It's like when your mum says, "Take your coat off, because otherwise you won't feel the benefit when you go outside."
Well, no, that's absolutely right. Okay, this is the point. That's absolutely bang on. I've done the Arctic survival course. I've done many survival courses in the army, and the Arctic being one of them. -50, learning how to live in that, and it's not acclimatization. That's different, because we're talking about a quick turnaround. So if it's a frosty, snowy winter's day and it's like -2 outside, and you're in the car driving somewhere and you've got the heaters on full, you've got your jacket on, you've got the heated seats on and all that stuff, and then you get out of the car, yes, that's where you won't feel the benefit, because you're starting off so hot. You can only come down as opposed to go up. But if we're talking about in 4 months' time, do you know what I mean? Me wearing boots now bears no reflection over that in January.
You know what they say about when people get older, that they turn into their parents. You start and I've just done a piss take of like your mum saying that you won't feel the benefit when you go outside, and now you're like, well, actually,
I've just justified it. Fair.
You've turned into them.
Oh well, we all get to that age. I might be talking absolute bollocks, so but I'm not.
Amazing. Well, so that's it. We'll see you in Wales if you're around in Wales. We might have no Welsh listeners, you don't know. But and head over to the Buy Me Coffee, and we'll chat to you on there about what the hell's going on and who we're speaking to.
We'll see you on the ground.
Yes. Till the next time. Take care of yourselves.
Toodaloo.